Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. Finally, I have a guest with wilder hair than myself, Colby Larsen from Old Town Gallery. Happy to have you here.
Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. My kids think that's great. You've got the spiky hair and looking good this morning. Happy to have you here.
Thanks.
So, first of all, I was just kind of looking at the Old Town Galleries, kind of looking at some of the artists that you guys have there, and I think I'm a little amazed. I thought I knew what you had, but I mean Chagall, Moreau, Matisse.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
It's awesome. It's really
Picasso.
Yep.
All original stuff.
All originals, yeah. Etchings, lithographs. We get some drawings in, things like that. Price point is anywhere from 10 up to about 120.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Not bad, really, when you consider the level of art that we're talking about there.
Yeah, it's great. It's really fun. Right now in the gallery, I think we have 11 Picassos, about 8 Chagall, and probably about 30 Moreau. So,
man.
yeah, it's cool.
All right, I'm coming over to take a look. That's amazing. It's sort of like you basically got a museum there.
Yeah, it's a little museum. Yeah.
A museum for sale.
Yeah, a lot of people say that. Yeah.
Oh, I can't imagine. Well, one of the exciting things you have as well is the grand opening of your new location, which is right across the street.
Yeah, so Old Town Gallery, you'll find a lot of modern art, a lot of contemporary art. And then I love contemporary Western, the great traditional artwork as well that you get from a lot of the old Western artists. And so we've opened another location, Park City Fine Art, and it's literally right across the street, right below Wasso, if you know. So, yeah.
That's excellent. So tell me about that location and what and some of the artists that you'll have there.
Some of the artists that you'll find there, a lot of the artists that you'll see at the montage, you'll find there, and so kind of those great Western landscapes that you'll see there. You've got Jim Wilcox, who's considered one of the best right now, as far as landscape painters. A wildlife artist, Luke Frazier, you'll find his work there. You'll also find a contemporary Western artist, Nelson Boren. He paints a lot of cowboys, kind of in a contemporary. You'll see just the boots, paintings of the boots, and things like that. You'll also find Chuck Milikoff, he's another contemporary Western, more pop art style with him, but Western. And then A.M. Stockhill, who's one of my personal favorites. She uses a lot of book pages and things like that she implements into her work and stuff like that. Old Charlie Russell type stuff.
What goes into picking the right art for, for a new location like that? That must be an interesting process.
It is, and it's funny. A lot of it is what I really like, to be honest with you. And so it's something that I really connect with.
As the buyer, you get to kind of pick and choose.
Yeah, so a lot of it's that, but then also just there's a marriage that happens with an art dealer and the artist. You have to really get along well, and you have to understand each other. And so Luke Frazier, we went golfing the other day, spent the entire day together golfing. It was really fun. And so there has to be an
emotional connection there. I guess.
There almost does. Yeah, you have to really love not just the art, but what the artist is about and their integrity and things like that. So.
I always say you can't sell something you don't love or you don't believe in, and I guess that's really what you're saying there. It would be impossible for you to represent them or to talk about their art if you didn't really care for it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Really interesting.
Yeah,
and of course it's easy to do that with the masters. That's there's so much great stuff, and of course I've seen some of the masters work and I'm like, not so much. But it must be a lot of fun to be able to kind of pick and choose and meet some great artists. I have to tell you, all of them that you guys have brought to us and the ones that we've met in the past always have such an interesting story.
Yeah.
About what about where their art comes from.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun to get to know.
Yeah. Alan Lund, who we had on the show about 6 months ago. Yeah. So he's in. We've actually taken him over to Park City Fine Art, and so we've taken anything traditional that was there and put it over into Park City Fine Art, and yeah. Alan's a great guy. He enjoyed the interview.
Well, we loved having him here, and it brings up another interesting question I'm sure that a lot of people have. We've had an interesting economic recovery, I suppose we could say, and one of the leading economic indicators is purchasing of art and things like that. Are you seeing a sort of renaissance among art buyers and things?
Yes, and speaking of that in general, Park City, there's so much that is put into Park City with the community, with the locals, and when the economy kind of tanked, Park City held its own. Aspen really struggled, Santa Fe really struggled, But you didn't really see a whole lot of galleries closing their doors and things like that, laying off numbers of staff. And
no,
so
it was restaurants that we lost. We didn't seem to lose art
No,
at
we
all.
didn't. And it's definitely held here in Park City, and it's just on the rise. Actually, not last season, but the season before, a couple art galleries actually reported their best season in 12 years. So
pretty exciting news, I think.
Yeah.
Well, and I suppose that's, you know, I'm sure we could say this without much equivocation, that because we have a lot of people who understand and love art here and are artists.
It's very true.
And
yeah.
they tend to, I think, would I be wrong to say that a lot of artists buy art?
No, it's not. It's not. You don't see as much as that, but you do see a lot of locals here that just love art. And they're also about keeping it local, too. I mean,
Right.
so a lot of these collectors that we have, I mean, they have maybe homes in other areas, or they'll, you know, instead of buying out there and shipping it in, they're keeping it local, and they're coming in down the street and walking up and down, things like that, which is kind of great.
Must make you feel good as you're taking a risk of opening another location to know that, you know, that we are keeping it PC,
Yeah.
to put it in the term of what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Definitely. And that's one thing with the gallery artists that you'll see. Most all the artists they're American artists. They're very well known and well established here in America, you could say. And it's something that we wanted to try and gear towards. It's a very Western feel that you get when you walk into the gallery. But
now, besides the grand opening, which again is Memorial Day weekend?
yeah, we're gonna do that this Memorial Day weekend, but then also the last Friday of the month, which is Gallery
Stroll. Yeah.
We'll have a grand opening then as well.
That's excellent. Any idea who we'll see as artists?
Alan Lum will be on there painting,
Okay.
and then Luke Frazier might pop in as well, and then a couple other artists might pop in and be there and things like that. It's definitely fun to get to meet the artists, and so we'll be doing some raffles. The Oakley Rodeo that's coming up in July, we'll be raffling off tickets for that for July 3rd and things like that.
That's
so.
a nice combination right there.
Yeah.
A little Western art, a little Western writing.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, as always, I want to thank you for being on the show. The website for Old Town Gallery?
Yeah, parkcityfineart.com.
All right.
Yeah.
You find all the new artists there. There's a list of some of them, I assume, of the new artists you're bringing in?
Yeah, whole list there. You'll see everything there, and then we're on Facebook too. So.
Best way to see it, though, is just come up and take a look.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, appreciate
it.
Yeah,
All right. Well,
thanks.
we will be back with more on the Mountain Morning Show, and that comes up right after this. We'll be right back.